Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the philosophy behind a book that, believe it or not, started as a complete flop but went on to sell over 150 million copies. We're talking about Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist.
I mean, everybody from Madonna to Will Smith to Nobel laureates has praised this story. But what is it? What is it about this really simple fable that has captured the attention of millions and created this massive global following?
Because, this book's journey is almost as amazing as the story inside. It was a colossal failure at first. In its first week, it sold a grand total of 1 copy. 1. The publisher just dropped it. For all intents and purposes, the book was dead. And yet here we are, talking about one of the best-selling books in history.
So how in the world did that happen? Well, the answer is all in the powerful philosophy that's woven into its story. So let's dive in and really explore the ideas that turn this book into a global phenomenon.
Okay, so our story begins with Santiago. He's a young shepherd out in the fields of Andalusia in Spain. And on the surface, you'd think this kid is living the dream. He's got freedom, he gets to travel, life is simple and comfortable. But as we're about to see, comfortable isn't always enough. I mean, think about it. He has his flock, he's got his books, there's even a potential romance on the horizon. He actually chose this life over becoming a priest, all because he wanted the freedom it offered. By all accounts, he should be perfectly happy, right?
But there's something that keeps nudging him, something that's just disrupting that perfect contentment. It's a dream he keeps having, over and over again, this persistent vision of a huge treasure, buried thousands of miles away from everything he knows, waiting for him at the Egyptian pyramids. And this is his call to adventure. So of course he's totally confused by this dream. He seeks out some guidance, first from a gypsy woman who gives him a kind of cryptic answer. But it's the next person he meets who really changes everything. A mysterious old man who sits down next to him and, get this, claims to be a king.
And this so-called king introduces Santiago to the absolute core idea of the entire book, the personal legend. Now don't just think of it as a goal, it's bigger than that. It's more like your unique purpose, your true calling in life. The mission that only you are here to fulfill.
But the king also gives him a serious warning. He tells him about the biggest thing that will get in his way, a belief he calls the world's greatest lie. And what is it? It's that moment we all have when we just give up and decide that our lives are controlled by fate, not by our own choices.
And this leads us to maybe the most famous line from the entire book. The king makes this incredible promise to Santiago. He says that when you really, truly want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. It's like this magical contract that's offered to anyone who's brave enough to actually follow their path.
So Santiago is inspired. He takes this huge leap of faith. He sells his entire flock of sheep. I mean, he sells his whole life, really. And he uses that money to sail to a brand new continent. He lands in the bustling city of Tangier in Africa. Okay, so the universe is supposed to be conspiring to help him, right? Well, that idea gets tested immediately and brutally. The moment he arrives, he puts his trust in a stranger who seems helpful, gets distracted by a shiny object, and in a flash, every single cent he has is just gone.
And just like that, he is completely and utterly alone. He's broke in a foreign country where he doesn't even speak the language. He has no way to get home and no way to move forward. It feels like his big dream has died before it even had a chance to start.
So he's hit rock bottom. He could just give up, and honestly, who would blame him? But he doesn't. Instead, he finds a job cleaning glassware for a local crystal merchant. He decides he's going to work his way back. And this huge setback, it ends up being one of the most important parts of his entire journey.
This is where we meet the crystal merchant, and this guy is the perfect opposite of Santiago. See, the merchant also has a lifelong dream. He wants to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. But here's the thing. He is terrified of actually achieving it. He's afraid that if he does, he won't have anything left to live for. So he prefers the comfort of just dreaming about it rather than the risk of making it real. Santiago's energy and his drive, they're a blessing for the shop's business. But for the merchant, it's almost like a curse because it forces him to look at his own life, at how stuck he is. The merchant basically admits that Santiago is showing him a world he was too afraid to chase for himself. And it's here that Santiago learns a new, really important concept that's going to guide him from now on: maktub. It's an Arabic phrase and it means it is written. Now, this isn't about just sitting back and letting fate happen. It's the idea that, yeah, Our destiny might be written, but we still have to get up, make the choices, and walk the path to actually get there.
So fast forward 1 year. Santiago hasn't just survived, he's actually thrived. He has worked his tail off. He's totally transformed the crystal shop. And now he's standing at a huge crossroads.
He's earned enough money to not only go home, but to buy a flock of sheep twice the size of the one he sold. He could go back to Spain a much wealthier and more successful shepherd than he ever dreamed of being. That safe, comfortable life, it's right there for the taking.
So this brings him to the defining choice, right? Does he go back to the familiar, comfortable life, now with a serious upgrade? Or does he risk every single thing he just earned to chase that uncertain dream out into the middle of the desert?
And here's the simple logic that makes the decision for him. He realizes, hey, I know how to be a shepherd. I can always go back to that life. That security will always be there as an option. But this chance, this opportunity to fulfill his personal legend, that might only come around once.
And so he recommits. He takes all the money he just made and uses it to join a caravan that's heading east, right across the Sahara Desert, taking him deeper into the unknown, but also closer to his treasure. He's learned maybe the most vital lesson of his journey so far. Making the choice is just the first step. When you really commit to something, it's like diving into a powerful river. It's going to carry you to places you could never have even imagined when you were standing on the shore.
You know, in the end, Santiago's journey is really just a mirror for our own lives. His setbacks, his choices, they're the same kinds of things we all face. And I think the real, enduring power of The Alchemist comes from the question it leaves every single one of us with. What is your personal legend? And are you brave enough to go after it no matter what it costs?